Good afternoon. Hi, this is Tiffany Fox with MrsTFox Resources. And I am, if you have never been here before, I'm an art educator and I own Mrs. T. Fox Resources art curriculum. So I write it. I have a shop on teachers. If you are on Pinterest or you are on Instagram and you see this is my logo. So you know from here on out, if you see the fox, it's Mrs. T. Fox Resources. And I have a website, MrsTFoxResources.com. If you are an art educator and you are interested in being on my email list, I send a newsletter every Sunday afternoon. I just sent it to all my subscribers. Oh, this is Willie too, by the way. Say hi, Willie. If I don't bring him to the Facebook Live, he scratches at the door. So I just gave up the second time around, and he's here, going to probably be here ever since. He is a long-haired dachshund, and he's almost 13, so he's kind of an old boy, but he's a sweetheart. So anyway, if you go to MrsTFoxResources.com and you get on my email list, hit that subscribe below button, you'll get a teacher freebie every week. You'll get my newsletter every week, and you will get information on new products, sales. I also do Art Educator PD on thinkific.com. So if you're interested in a course on, say, teaching drawing or teaching colored pencil or teaching portraiture, acrylic painting, classroom management. I've got all kinds of stuff on there. So if you're interested in that, those workshops are pre-recorded and they come with classroom resources. So things that you can take right back and plug in and use in your classroom. So check that out. Also, MrsTFoxResources.thinkific.com. On my website, there's a page with all of the workshops. You can also buy them bundled. So save a little bit of money, grab a nice hot cup of coffee on your break, your Christmas break, your holiday break, and, take a workshop. They're fun. I teach them live during the summer. So if you're on my email list, you will get the news, in the spring about upcoming live workshops, and we do them through Eventbrite and Zoom. So they're a lot of fun. I have a lot of fabulous educators. Are you not comfortable? Okay, so anyway, that is all about that. I am also going to be giving away a $10 TPT gift card every Sunday on my Instagram Live. So this is how you can win it. If you like what you see as far as resources go or whatever, if you see something that I'm going to be talking about today, if you would like this page and if you would follow my page, and then if you would share this Facebook Live so everybody can see Willie. And after you share the Facebook Live, last week, I said to everybody, okay, if you share, then you're going to be in the running for the TPT gift card. Okay, well, here was the problem. Because of share settings and privacy settings, I couldn't see who shared the video. So what I'm going to need you to do, if you share this video, if you would put it in the comments below that you have shared it, then I will know that you are in the running for the TPT gift card. So everybody who shares this video, you are going to be in the running. And I will tell you tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. I will make an announcement who the winner was, and then you can do a little shopping. All right, Willie, let's talk to these people now about the freebie that's in the newsletter this week. So if you're on my email list, your freebie is this beautiful little, what I like to call taking a break from whatever you're doing and having the kids do something a little bit fun, but still having some skills and some really cool things that they can display their talent. And this is just a little grid worksheet. It's a holiday bow, and there's a rubric right on the bottom. They can assess themselves, or you can assess them, whatever, however you want to handle it. But all here, all on one worksheet, and that is free. That's a free download. So if you are on my email list, you got the newsletter this afternoon, and so all you have to do is download that bad boy and print it, and you are ready to go. All right. You also have, this is like a little mini version of what I like to call my holiday bow extravaganza. So this is my Beautiful Bows project. This is the cover that you would see on TPT. It's beautiful bows. I think the actual product is holiday bows with colored pencil, but I just recently updated this. So if you have this already, this should look familiar. It's a white colored pencil on black paper project. If you have that already, it has recently been updated. Anytime somebody updates a product on TPT that you have already purchased, whether it's me or some other content creator, all you need to do is go back into your account and re-download that product. And then once you re-download it, you will have the new updated version. So my version has just been updated. I think I ended up finishing up yesterday. It might have been the day before. So go ahead and re-download that. This is everything that you get. You're getting 70 reference photos. So I give you a folder of individual reference photos, and then I give you reference photos already gridded, already printed out. All you have to do is push that button and go. So no prep. It is hours and hours of work, as you know, as an art teacher, to take reference photos, put them into a document, put a grid on top of them, print them. It's exhausting. All right. It probably took me 3 hours just to put grids on these few sheets of paper. So it's exhausting, and you don't have time for that. So that's what I'm here for. So just go ahead and print these out. I've offered you a 4-part grid series, a 9-part grid, and a 16-part grid. So give kids choice, all skill levels. And then there's a whole section, there's a whole printable resource with no grid at all. So if you have more advanced kids, you can, there's a little something there for everybody. So that's, I refreshed all of these presentations. There's 2 presentations for the kids. One of them is on a white background in case you want to print it for them. And then the other one is on the black background if you want to do it digitally. We've got value scales here. And then this is so cost effective. All you need is black construction paper and a white colored pencil. I recommend Prismacolor because you get a much brighter white. But if you have Crayola, use Crayola. As long as they are bearing down in those whites, you're going to get a pretty nice white. Now, the only ones I would stay away from would be like the Rose Art, the ones that are really, really bargain basement. They just have too much wax. They don't have enough pigment. So that is the Holiday Bows. I wanted to tell you about that. The link to that is also in the newsletter. So it'll take you right to the product. And anytime you're looking at a product on TPT, whether it's mine or anybody else's, when you see that initial product cover, go ahead and scroll down. There's a description so you know exactly what you're getting. So I always recommend read all the info before you push that buy button, because you never know. It might be something you don't need, or it might be something that's just not applicable to your classroom. Okay, now let's talk about my favorite classroom management tip ever. Okay, ever. This was the thing that changed my level of work in my room, and it changed the attitude of my kids. It really, really did, because they got to actually share out, see, and experience what was going on in the room every single day. So in my room, what I would do is every single day, in progress, I think I'm putting Willie to sleep, in progress work always goes on the board somewhere. All right, I had 3 block classes, so I had 3 groups of work in my room, one on my whiteboard, one on my big bulletin board, and then another one on my wall. So really, displayed every single day. So we didn't tuck anything away in a folder at the end of the day or a portfolio. We hung the work, and we always worked kind of small, just because that's a whole nother Facebook Live, working small. I just find that the due dates are shorter, the effort is more concerted, and people are not burning out if the work is a little bit smaller. Because I just have to ask myself, what skill am I getting them? What do I want them to learn? How will they learn it? How will I know they learned it? Just wrote a blog post on this on my website, MrsTFoxResources.com. So check that blog post out. It actually focuses on this project and gives you some tips on teaching that product. But I talk about working small, and I talk about displaying everything on the wall. So the cool thing about it is, if the kids are working, and if there's kids that are not working, which we all, that does happen, then they know at the end of class, they're not tucking it away, they're hanging it on the wall. And so when you hang something on the wall for the whole world to see, you're probably more likely, at least I found in my experience, they were more likely to put in more effort. And I say more in a relative term, you know what I mean? Like the kids that were doing nothing are all of a sudden doing something so that they can put it up on the wall. It's also a great way to take attendance. You get in the door, everybody goes to the board to get their work. Now, nobody's lost their work, remember, because it's all on the board. So you don't have that, I lost my project. You don't have a bunch of people about the room looking for things that have been lost or accidentally stashed or thrown away or whatever. It's all on the board. So they get up there and they get their work and they take it to their seat and they get going. Well, You can just look at the board 5 minutes into class. If you only have two things on the board, you just, oh, those two people must not be here or they must be late. So that was another little kind of added plus that I got from doing this. But here's the genius that I came up with. Now, when I say genius, I mean it was just more like an epiphany. I had lunch with the most wonderful, lovely teacher on Friday here in Greenville. I met her at the South Carolina Art Educators conference where I spoke several weeks ago. And delightful group of people, wonderful group of educators. I could kick myself for not taking any photos and putting them on my Instagram. That was just, I think I was just so nervous that I didn't even think. But anyway, wonderful experience. And if you've not been to an art educators conference, go because it's just really, really cool. And so I got to speak about classroom management and about motivating kids. And so I'm talking about this. And so she says to me, can we have lunch? Okay, so fast forward. Yeah, we have lunch on Friday. And she says to me, I'm in a situation where I'm in a private school. We don't have a permanent location, so I don't have a permanent classroom. We're meeting in another building, and I can't do this. I can't put the work up on the board. And it's really making me, I'm trying to figure out how I can do this and have it be portable. So like this light just went, pew. I was like, oh my gosh, I have it. These are trifold boards that you do like a science project on. They're by Elmer's. They're maybe, I don't know, $6, $8 at, the local drugstore. I think you can get these at Walmart. I think you can even get them at CVS or Walgreens. Um, but I said to her, why don't you, because I advocate for working small. And I said, how big are your classes? And she said, like 16 and 18. And even if you had big classes, you could have two boards. And so I said to her, get the boards, have the kids make like a little section, like a little, I even sent her some frames, some printable frames. And I said, have them, create their name and have their own little section. And every day when they're finished with their work, they can go up and hang it on this board. And then you just close up the board and you take it. So why say all this to say, if you don't have wall space, if all you have is windows, if all you have is, maybe you're in somebody else's classroom, maybe you're on a cart, you can roll into the room and pop these boards open. You could have the class, like second block or third period or whatever at the top. And then this is their permanent gallery space. And then say you want to just take this and display it out in the commons for a couple days, or in the common area of your building, you can just walk it out and unfold it, and there's the fabulousness for everybody to see. So it was just like my mind just went poof, because I've had so many people say to me in the past, Tiff, I would love to do this, but I don't have the wall space. I can't commit wall space. I can't commit bulletin board space. So here's your answer. All right. And while we're talking about displaying, I actually had these boards. When I traveled to Greenville and I unpacked everything. It was so easy to transport these because, can you believe this dog is sleeping through my Facebook Live? It was so easy to transport these because I just folded them up and put them in the moving van. When I got them out today, I was like, well, I'll just put them behind me so everybody can see this project. So this is like a little 2-for-1 here. This is a project that I call Sid, the cutest koala bear ever. And this is an awesome project if you're coming down to the wire on a break, if you're coming to the end of, the school year, if you're getting close to spring break, Christmas break. This is awesome. This is great for holiday break because it's festive, it's the bows. But this is also great for subplans. And what they do is they take this image right here. This is Sid, the koala bear. And there's a lesson in my TPT shop with there's like a brainstorm that the kids do with each, within groups in the class. And they basically create Sid in an alternative personality. Now, you could put parameters on this. I've done him as a historical figure. I've done him as a rock star. I've done him. But it's great for choice for the kids because I have never in my life seen so many creative Sids. And I, as an old person, learned a whole lot with Sid. I don't know if you can see it. Let me turn this a little bit here. Oh, yeah, here we go. See this Sid right here? This is Katniss Everdeen. Okay, and I hope I'm saying that right, but that's how I found out about the Hunger Games, was somebody did Sid pointing the right way. Somebody did Sid as Katniss, and I didn't know who Katniss was, but I did after it was all over. And you can see we got Napoleon Sid, and we've got the Marcos Pizza Sid, and then of course you have Elsa. So the possibilities are endless, and the kids have so much choice. But it's a really nice cost effective lesson because you can set the parameter of how big you want. When we first started doing this project, I'm probably going to knock it over here, but when we first started doing it, I'm trying to find one that was in back. This is my daughter's right here, and she's 30. So, we've been doing this for a while. When we first started doing it over here, now you can't see that. Let me find the one. Here we go. This guy, these guys right here that aren't in color. And this guy right here, now the young man that did this is probably 32. So it's been going on for a while. But Sid used to just be tiny and he used to just be black and white. And then one day the kids were like, you know what, can we add color and can we make him bigger? And I was like, well, sure, I don't see why not. So then I started coming up with size parameter. And so I just would say, like, you need to do two SIDs. One is 5 inches, one is 7 inches, the whole, but you can go as far and wide with this as you want to. And when they're done, we did this big display in the main area of the school on the bulletin board, and you wouldn't believe how many kids came by my room during the course of the semester that didn't even have me and would say, hey, when is Sid going out on the board? We want to see the Sids. Like, what? So he got quite the little reputation. So if you've done this, let me know. Comment if you've done this because I just think it is so much fun. And I love to see the kids come up with really cool creative ideas. This is one of my favorites. When I posted something the other day, this young lady who has been graduated for 4 or 5 years, I believe she's going to school to be a PA actually right now. She might even be going to be a doctor. She commented and said she missed my class. And I said, well, I miss you being in my class. But this was her Sid. Look, it's the Titanic. Isn't that fantastic? So all we have to do is we have to recognize Sid. He has to be recognizable. We have to understand that it's him, no matter how he ends up in the final works. So here's some more over here. I don't know if you can. Yeah, here we go. You can see these. Like this is even a Led Zeppelin cover with two Sids. So they just do all kinds of crazy fun stuff. So just something to think about, if you're looking for something fun for them to do and right before the holidays, this is a great option. And it's in my shop. It's in the drawing section. When you go on to TPT, like I said, on my shop or anybody else's, go over to the left-hand side where it says custom categories and go look at the categories. And that's the easiest way to navigate somebody's shop is through their categories. So for me, this would be under colored pencil. It would be under drawing all mediums. It would be under beginner drawing. So any of those places you will find this and you will find this, the bows on in colored pencil. And there's even a colored pencil on a budget that has all of my Crayola lessons. So if all you have is Crayola, you can get beautiful results with Crayola as long as the kids don't press too hard too fast, because there is a higher wax content in Crayola colored pencils and just a little bit less pigment. So this is my classroom management tip for the year. Put that work on the board. Put it on display for an in progress. So, as they're working, and then when they get to the very end and they get finished, everybody stay up there, once they're done. So, all the finished ones will just stay, that will be your early finishers. I don't have too many early finishers because the work is smaller and the due dates are shorter. Okay, can I help you? I don't have too many early finishers. That's the other beauty of working small is everybody pretty much gets done because it's not taking too long. So, once you see them get excited about looking at each other's work, they compliment each other, they encourage each other. I mean, it is just really, really cool. It's a cool thing to watch. And it's always good to build somebody's confidence. It's always good to encourage. So, for the TPT gift card, I'm going to go over it one more time. You need to share this video. And then you need to comment below that you shared the video and you to make sure that you have liked and followed the page. That's the only criteria. So as long as you do that before tomorrow at 6 p.m., you watch the replay, you share this out or whatever, you're in the running. for the TPT. And I usually have my husband just draw it out of a hat. So he's the TPT gift card picker. So I hope that you are having a great early December. I hope you're looking forward to some rest because you deserve it. And I know how tiring and exhausting it is to be at this place in the year. So I am sending all of my positive energy and thoughts and prayers your way for a really, really nice restful break for you. And if you have any questions about anything, about, if you're on the TPT shop and you're looking, or you're reading my newsletter and you have questions, please reach out to me. And my email is tjfox5050@gmail.com. Or you can reach out to me via Instagram at MrsTFox Resources. And I'm in the process of overhauling my Pinterest, Mrs. T Fox Resources. So any project ideas that you're looking for, that my Pinterest page is full of project ideas: painting, drawing, AP Studio art, all kinds of stuff. So check it out. But thanks for joining me. And don't forget to share, like, follow, and comment for that TPT gift card. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. And I put Willie to sleep here. So Willie says bye. Say bye to the people, Willie. Bye bye. And you guys have a great night. All right. I'll see you later.